Dangerous is when the universe pick you and you put on the magic glasses. There's rules that go with them. You can never take them off. You never see things as they're supposed to be. You see things as they are. You can never force nobody else to wear them.
I think while I lie awake and contemplate tonight are wearing me out. Well, maybe tomorrow the world will wake and get it right, but I have my doubts, yeah. During the day, well, I design machines of war that scream through the sky. 'Cause I, for one, I like to go to bed free at night under these stars and stripes. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. Yes, I have my doubts, but they'll wind you up and pull the cord until you're spun right out. And I don't understand. Roll the dice and raise the price to feed the machine's mouth. Call it the progress of man. And I have my doubt that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubt. And I have my doubt that we'll make it back out. I have my doubts, so I'll drink my stuff and raise some hell and shoot my guns to the end of my time. You can have the booze and go to hell and take the guns, but I know they won't be mine. Messed up and out of touch, let's text someone who's in the other room. So don't wonder why we don't say hi or know anyone. I might as well move to the moon. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. Well, the things I think while I lie awake and contemplate at night are wearing me out.
Howdy, howdy. I hope everybody is doing well. I show audio is going out from in here. I went back to the old method of how I was doing things because it seems to work better. So we got Steve here tonight.
Yes, sir.
And Steve is going to really be interested in the topic of discussion tonight because I'm sure he was heartbroken when Snoop Dogg said that he was going to quit smoking weed, and I'm sure that that probably drove Steve to drinking. Did it, Steve?
A little.
Did you even know that? Did you even know that he announced he was quitting smoking weed? It was just like we reported on it. I don't know when it was. It could have been yesterday. Hell, I don't remember. But he made an announcement that he was going to quit. Well, he was giving up smoke, is what he said. And so everybody ran with the headlines that he was quitting smoking weed, and you know, I mean, he owns marijuana related companies. I mean, the guy profits heavily from marijuana. And so everybody was like, what? Well, it turns out that it was an advertisement. And that just floors me. And that's why I did the thumbnail image that I did tonight. And that's why I titled the show that I did. Because, man, that's like, uh, that's some cheap stuff there, man. That's like that's like the Mexican dirt weed that we could never mind. Anyway, just a back in the day kind of story, you know what I mean? Um, the kind that came in real compacted bricks and smelled like Christmas trees. Yeah, that. But anyway, we're not here to talk about. Ah, we're not here to knock my phone on the floor either. But we're not here to talk about the Christmas tree weed. That was some kind of nasty stuff. Do you know anything about Christmas tree? I'm gonna pick on Steve. Uh, hang on. Okay, I had to readjust my eyeballs. You can adjust them in and out, and mine my eyeballs were popped out a notch. So, uh, oh man. Oh wow, that's wild. Repeating what I'm saying, I don't know why you're saying that. Am I echoing? I don't show an echo. Oh, a delay. Okay. Um, oh man. So yeah. Anyway, like I was speaking about, that's what's going on with Snoop Dogg. He's not quitting smoking weed. This was just linked to an advertisement for Solo Stove. Now, I when I saw that, I'm gonna be honest, I was kind of shocked on multiple accounts. But Solo Stove is kind of one of those. No, I don't know if you'd call it an underdog business, but it was definitely a ground up business. Guy created the business on his own and just kept building, and I even participated in. They were doing live streams on Facebook for a while, and you could go and you could try to win one of their products during their live streams. And I went and I attended several of the live streams, and of course tried to win one. Never did, but they're an awesome product. I have a um, stove, and I probably have showed it on a video. I'm sure I have on a video somewhere. Probably the bug out, more than one bug out bag video that I've done. I probably showed it, and it has a solo stove-ish design to it. It utilizes wood gasification to help more efficiently burn the wood, which is what the solo stove does. And so anyway, They make a really good product. There's no doubt about that. But I was kind of shocked, not only that Snoop Dogg would simp to that level, but also I was shocked because I know that they were a building business, a building company, but that's impressive that they've built that large. That not only could they hire advertising on the level of Snoop Dogg, but that they could get Snoop Dogg to simp because that's an extra fee. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, you got your advertising fee here, but if you got a simp, because you know what, once you go simp, there's no going back, and so you got to get paid up here for the simping because you don't know what kind of gigs you're gonna get after that. I'm just messing. Why not have a little bit of a light night if we can, or laugh where we can, joke where we can. I watched Monkey Works right before the show here, and I was watching what he was talking about, and there was a lot, and there's a lot of troop movement. Um, well, there's a lot of movement. Okay, I can't necessarily say troops, equipment, probably both of the above, but there's a lot going on. Um, a lot. Now, does that mean we're about to jump head first into major conflict? Not necessarily. It does mean that we definitely need to remain vigilant. Um, I'm concerned. I am. But I still think that there is something bigger here that's really behind this. I don't think it's Ukraine. I don't think it's Israel. I think it's something that's probably even bigger than that. And I don't know. And I know there's a lot of talk about, the oil that apparently is under Gaza and all of that, and how I'm sure that Israel would take advantage of anything and everything they could by taking over that entire area. No doubt in my mind of that. Um, you can bet that the Israelis would happily take over the olive orchards and all of that. It's mind blowing. It really truly is mind blowing. Um, and again, I can't sit here with any definitive confidence and even tell you where it is as a country that we stand because they're talking out of both sides of their necks. With Ukraine, they're talking out of both sides of their necks. With Israel, they're talking out of both sides of their necks. And of course, they've been doing that to us since, I don't know, probably the early 1900s. Uh, it's concerning because we have no idea of how to gauge anything when the information that we are getting is so beyond flawed. Um, there's a lot of things moving to the Middle East. There's no doubt about that. I had mentioned yesterday that I had heard of lots of stuff moving in the Middle East, meaning the other team, if you will. So I would say probably that the two reports probably confirm one another because if one's a shaken, the other one's going to be shaken too. I don't mean shaken as in scared. I mean shaken as in shaking a leg. Um, man. But I still think that there's something much bigger to this. And there's something that just keeps poking at me that whatever this is something that really needs to be considered in the mix. And I don't know what it is yet. I'll probably figure it out. Um, There's just a lot of stuff. There just doesn't add up with all of it. All of it. And I'm sure there's something I'm missing. Probably something rather small that would cue me in on the right direction. But anyway, let me get let me drop my e-cig, make sure everything's still fine because it hit some keys. All right, let me grab a sip of coffee. Coffee. Real quick, I am going to take my watch off and get it charging because I forgot. And the other things that I forgot to get charging was my E6, my nighttime E6, my pods. Get my pods plugged in. Yeah, because I've got two pods. Anyway. Let's see. So I told you this. We don't need to read the story. I done told you about what's up with Snoop Dogg. He's simping for the Benjamins. Is what it is. It's crazy. So we can add this country to the list of countries that can successfully fire ballistic missiles. Why can't the United States reach reach that milestone? My goodness. I'm laughing because it's actually horrifying that we can't even successfully launch a Minuteman 3. I don't know if the floppy disk got corrupted. I don't know what happened. Okay, so anyway, Paris has released footage of the. Oh wait, I haven't put this. Oh, I'm sorry. People should smack me, yo. Ah, looky there. Well, as soon as it switches over for y'all, there it goes. Make sure I'm not. Okay, I'm good. I was making sure I wasn't lagging. Sorry, I thought you were on. I thought you could see, and you couldn't. So, but now you can. Well, kinda. You can't really read it because it's blurry, but Paris has released footage of the M51.3. Yeah, M51.3 long-range ballistic missile being test fired over the weekend as part of the ongoing improvements to the French nuclear deterrent. The M51.3 or period 3 or menstrual cycle 3 is the latest iteration of the M51, a three-stage missile designed to be launched from French nuclear submarines. Hang on. All right. I didn't want to blow your eardrums out. The M51.3 is the latest iteration of the M51, a three-stage missile designed to be launched from French nuclear submarines. The original missile was first fired from a ground launcher in 2006 and from the sea in 2010. First successful test firing of an M51.3 strategic ballistic missile, French Defense Minister Sébastien Lecornu wrote on X, adding that this confirms the credibility of our nuclear deterrent and demonstrates the excellence of our launch sector. So, add another country to the list that has managed to reach the milestone of launching a ballistic missile, because apparently that's really hard to do. How come? Get over back on this screen, man. Russia-China de-dollarization is almost complete. says Deputy PM. Russia, China, I just read that. Western currencies have been almost completely phased out in Russia-China trade, as nearly all payments between the countries are now carried out in rubles and yuan. Russian First Deputy Prime Minister Andrei Belousov announced on Monday. Really, because Juan never paid me. He did. In fact, I don't think I personally know a Juan, so I'm pretty sure that Juan's never paid me. Uh, anyway, damn, that is like blurry as hell for me. Hang on, let me make this. I can make mine bigger. Bigger. Does it change? Yeah, it does change all that too. Oh well. Um, Since the introduction of Western sanctions on Moscow, Russia and China have accelerated the use of their own currencies in trade. According to Belousov, 95% of all transactions between Russia and China are now carried out in one of the country's national currencies. And given the rapid expansion of mutual trade and cooperation, this percentage is likely to grow. Speaking at a meeting of the Russia-China Intergovernmental Commission in Beijing, the Deputy Prime Minister said bilateral trade between the two countries will exceed the target of $200 billion this year and may reach $300 billion by 2030. So, there's a lot of countries that are getting involved in de-dollarization. A lot of countries that are pretty much done with the dollar. They're pretty much dedicating everything to BRICS. And that's going to have detrimental effects as time goes on. And that's just another one of the myriad of things that's going to snowball. 1 second. Oh, man. So, kind of one of those things. Let me pop this off for a moment. That way to let everything kind of catch back up. I'll get my screen straightened back out over here. Alright. But yeah, just insanity. Global insanity. I think I only got one more article. And this is something too that who was it that was speaking on it? I don't know. It could have been Monkey Works and it could have been a number of other people. But the shipping companies are starting to really report a lot of a slowdown when it comes to shipping retail goods. It's no secret that sales is dramatically down across the world. It's not just a US thing. It's not just a UK thing, an EU thing. This is global. The problem, I think, is compounded quite a few times what most people just think on the surface. And the reason why is because we are still in a period of time to where there are individuals that are still operating on debt. I think a lot of retail sales that you see currently are those operating on debt. That ship's going to sink, and when it does, it's going to sink like a rock. Because when that debt dries up, and when those payments come due, and there's no funds to make them, and this is going to happen, and again, I'm not just saying on a national scale, it's going to be on a global scale. Oof. It's not going to be good. The important thing to remember about all those debts that I aforementioned, they involve the US dollar, not what's going on with BRICS. So any nation that even gets their foot wet in the BRICS pool or hedging their bets in case the US dollar goes bye-bye, which I have no doubt it will. It's crazy. It's crazy. We are at a point in time where if somebody would ask me my advice on what to invest in, beyond stuff to be prepared, beyond anything to do with prepping, just smart investment. I don't know. Because one thing that people keep forgetting when it comes to precious metals is that for a real long time after the Great Depression, you couldn't buy or sell gold. It was illegal to buy or sell gold. When all that happened, during the Great Depression, they made people turn in their gold. If you got caught not turning in your gold, you would go to jail. So if you want to buy them gold, you go right to it. I'm not going to hedge my bets that way. Not that I got the money to begin with, but I'm just saying. There's a lot of people thinking that they're going to gold themselves out of gold themselves back to prosperity. And that's simply not the case. Says who? Says history. History. Just remember that. I don't know, because I can't even tell you land. Can't even tell you land because I don't know that land is so secure right now. I don't know. And again, I'm speaking aside from preparedness. I'm speaking about what would a wise investment be. I don't know. Because there's a big fall yet to come. And again, I can't feel confident in saying that even land, even property would be untouchable. Can't say it. These people are insane. They are insane. Anyway, let me have another sip of coffee, a couple of vapes. I've got one more article to talk about. Then we got the headlines to read through. Looks like it might be a pretty simple, quick, and easy night. I'm game. Huh. Coffee's so good. All right. Oh, I don't know. Can't see that part of my computer right now. Oh, let's see. What I see is what you see. Oh, well, never mind. You don't see it. I guess I could turn on the article I've been bantering about for a moment. And here, Sherry. All right. And back to the screen. Let's see. Okay. UK retail sales nosedive, says data. There was a reason why I was talking about the stuff I was talking about. It's not just UK, though. And I think you're going to start to see over the coming days a number of countries that are going to be and regions that are going to be making these same claims. I think Black Friday this year is going to be abysmal. I think it's going to be the darkest Black Friday, probably in recorded history, because I don't think there were Black Fridays back during the Great Depression and stuff. So I think probably ever since they started doing the whole Black Friday thing, this would probably be by far the worst. That's just a guess. But there's a lot of people that's really pulling back. A lot. And a lot of people that have no choice. So that's always a thing to consider. And hell, even Netflix raising their fees by like $2 or $3 a month. It's insane. People are getting absolutely squeezed out. Just about anything and everything. And I think you're going to continue to see this happen. And I don't think it's by accident. I don't think it's coincidence. I think they are doing this. They ain't gonna quit until you got nothing. Let me say that again. They ain't gonna quit until you got nothing. And then they're gonna come and they're gonna give you housing. They're gonna give you a little bit of food. They're gonna give you some half-ass medical. Right? And they're going to tell you you're happy. And you will have nothing and be happy. You really understand. You have to understand that these psychopaths run the show. They run the show. So until we do something to be able to actually run our own show outside of their show, good luck with that. We get to go off whatever damn cliff it is that they want to take us. Yeah, we can prep. And I hope you are. We, to the best that we can, we are. But let me tell you, I think there's a lot of people in this country that don't know enough about hard times to know when they should be actually taking this stuff serious. And I mean serious. Not, hey, I want to impress my friends serious, or hey, I want to make a cool video serious, or no, I mean serious. I had to get a giggle out of watching Ben Davidson earlier, Suspicious Observers, because I get it. I understand his mindset. I understand where he's coming from. When he gets salty, I get it. If you have never picked up on it, I'm kind of the same way. It's just delivered much differently, right? I don't, I mean, don't get me wrong. He'll say whatever is on his mind. But it is a little polished to where I don't polish nothing. I'm going to throw the shards as they come. It's just how I am. And I'm not going to play games with anybody. Absolutely not going to play games with anybody. I don't see the point. If somebody's trying to bullshit you and you know they're trying to bullshit you, you tell them that you know they're trying to bullshit you. You make it known. You don't let it lie. The hell's with letting it lie? Nah, bullshit. Bullshit. That's enabling. In my eyes, not calling out people's bullshit is enabling. Just as bad as any other form of enabling. And I'll call it out. Plain and simple. Anyway, UK retail sales nosedive. UK retail sales fell unexpectedly in October, with the volume of goods sold in stores and online slumping 0.3% month on month, the Office for National Statistics reported on Friday. Economists were expecting an increase of 0.4% for the month of October. Instead, sales plummeted to their lowest level since early 2021, when COVID restrictions were in place. Compared to last year, October sales were 2.7% lower, data shows. The report also highlighted that October drop followed a revised 1.1% decline in September that was worse than first estimated. Both economists and retailers blame the cost of living crisis and bad weather for the poor performance. Bad weather. You gotta love the whole bad weather. And I mean, don't get me wrong, the weather hasn't been grand, but boy, they pull that excuse out all the time. Remember when there were all the shipping delays couple 2-3 years ago, all the shipping delays that was attributed to bad weather, and yet there was no bad weather. So yeah, I remember that. That was pretty fun times. Let's see. Let me go ahead and kill that screen for the moment. The momento. I can go ahead and get ready for the headlines or headlights, whichever one we want to look at. uh, I gotta have some coffee. Mmm. Yummer, yummer, yummer. Ah. So yeah, I I don't know. Crazy times, crazy times. Um, I do got, like I've been saying, I got videos on this old A18 plus camera. Right now, what I'm doing and why I haven't done anything with it as far as content is because I've got a 32 gigabyte card in it, which I know is really small. You can put, I believe it is up to a 256 gigabyte card in it, but I had an extra 32 sitting around that I threw in there. And I've got 2 days because it's set to record 24/7 and do loop recording. And so what I'm finding out is, first anyway, is that 32 gigabytes, how long will it loop record on 32 gigabytes? Just so I know, so it's just one more figure that I can give you. And then once I get that test all done, then I'm going to do the battery test, both, daytime no IR and nighttime IR battery test, just with the internal battery alone, and with an Anker 13,000 milliamp hour power brick, right? Um, can give you the numbers on both of those. Um, and then just other various things. I'm going to be doing content on, how to use the device and stuff like that. It is, like I say, it's a cool device. I've had it on and running. Hang on, I don't know what all would come up. Let me poke on the other screen here. Oh wait, you can't see the screen. Ah, no, I didn't want to do that. Go back. Thank you. Okay. No, what I wanted to do was make you not full screen. Okay. Oops. I already got that open. I'm gonna really do a number on something. That's my phone. I have to open my phone. Oh, it's over on another screen. What the heck? Oh. Okay. Over here. And uh-huh. Now where did that go? Uh-huh. Up there. So let me bring it down. Uh-huh. right. So, all right. Got it, got it. Sorry, I'm just trying to get this where you guys can see it. Okay, that's probably about as good as I'm going to get that. Yeah. Okay, so check this out. 32 gigabyte card. It did all of yesterday, right? And it's working hard for all of today. So we'll see how long that 32 gigabyte card can do this. By the way, I'm doing this with Phone Link, the little Windows Phone Link app. That's how I'm accessing my. I wanted to close you. Close, close, close. Go down. Oh. There we go. Okay. Now we can click back out of there. But it's on right now. I don't know. I haven't looked at what it's pointing at, so I'm not gonna click on it and bring it open because I don't know. It could have moved a little bit or whatever. I don't have it. I don't have it mounted down or anything. I've just got it plugged in. But you can see in the thumbnail kind of picture there, living room, blues on the. It's obviously the daytime when it took that little thumbnail. Blues on the futon and. So anywho, cool. It's definitely a cool little camera. All right, I reckon we could do some headlines and then run out of here. I am getting warm. I'm starting to sweat. No, I'm actually just leading in my flash dance intro. Ah, damn it. Where'd my e-cig go? Okay, it's over here. All right. Okay, run through the headlines. Former U.S. First Lady dies at 96. That would be Miss Carter. Huh? Russians snap up homes in EU country despite sanctions, says RBK. UK, talked about that. Biden rating worst ever, says NBC poll. You really needed to actually put out a poll? Okay. Time running short for U.S. military aid to Ukraine, says NBC. UK nuclear submarine barely avoids disaster, says The Sun. Yeah, apparently, I don't know if it was the sensor, the gauge, or exactly what it was, but there was a failure to communicate. But it was a failure from the sensor to the gauge or whatever the case. Anyway, they didn't realize that they were still sinking like a stone, and yet they were sinking like a stone. So that could have caused big problems if they didn't stop sinking. Just like the retail sales in a nosedive. Ex-Brazilian president suspected of harassing a whale, says media. Long as you don't go into that little building and ask for Brazilian wax, man, because Yemeni Houthi rebels seize Israel-linked ship. So I don't know exactly how it's Israeli-linked. Israel, I know at one time said it wasn't theirs. I don't know. I didn't dig. Former Putin election rival dies. Argentina won't join BRICS. Thought that was interesting. Says newly elected president. Will BBC apologize? Asks a Israeli army spokesman. I don't know. Ukrainian Eurovision winner put on Russia's wanted list. Kind of like an Operation Paperclip thing, maybe? I don't know. U.S. court backs 1990s Russian oligarchs. Sexism thwarted prevention of Hamas attack, says Haaretz, or however the hell you say it. Protesters in EU nation blocking aid to Kiev, says Ukrainian official. Trump congratulates Latin American ally on election victory. Ukrainian bandits raid Christian monastery, says diocese. Russia could ban adoption to pro-transgender countries. Israel must obey rules of war, says the EU. Pentagon chief makes surprise visit to Kiev. I talked about that in the report I put out earlier. Over 80% of Russians are happy, says a poll. And the other 20% of the people, well, we don't know where they're at now. Putin to I'm kidding. Putin to take part in emergency BRICS summit, says Kremlin. Microsoft hires ousted ChatGPT founder. Russia-China de-dollarization almost complete. Oh, I had that up. Who is Javier? Is it Milei? Milei? I don't know. Argentina's outsider president erect. Argentina's chainsaw-wielding, newly erected president pledges economic shock therapy. Hang on. Okay, much better. So, Argentina president erection. Ukraine sacks cybersecurity chief. Let's see, says RT. Ukraine utterly dependent on U.S. aid, says Janet Yellen, Treasury Secretary, the old hag with the dollar signs. I don't know. No Russian minority in Ukraine, says Parliament Speaker. I was right about the old hag part. EU state residents protest Russia border closure. 207 sentenced to 2,200 years in Italian mafia trial. So, I think that they'll, get out on good behavior. West wants younger blood in Kiev's army, says Russian intelligence. Well, I'm sure they do. Dutch politician hit on head with a bottle. That wasn't very nice. Zelensky demands rapid changes. Ukraine concerned about Western push for Russia talks, says security chief. Covered that. Snoop Dogg, I covered that. NATO member warns ex-Soviet state about the West. Well, it's good somebody does, because the West is out of control. Let's see. Let me make sure that there's no numero unos up there. There is a numero uno up there. U.S. What? U.S. offers sedative pill to collapsing Ukraine, says Moscow. Says here, Washington has announced yet another military aid package for Ukraine worth some $100 million after the Pentagon warned earlier this month that it was running critically low. I wonder what all this... I saw some blinking going on. Oh. Yeah. I saw some blinking. I don't know if that's what changed or what. But anyway, wherever the hell my mouse is now. It did it again. I don't know what it is. It says latest package announced on Monday will include one high-mobility artillery rocket system with additional ammunition as well as Stinger anti-aircraft missiles and an unknown number of 155mm and 105mm artillery rounds. On top of that, the U.S. military will supply Kiev's forces with cold weather gear, tow missiles, and small arms ammunition. So, but, you shouldn't have to worry about the rise in energy cost or anything like that. You shouldn't worry about anything because they're going to take good care of you. Real good care of you. They're going to protect and serve the hell out of us. I'm telling you. Get ready, folks. Get ready. Because they're taking this nation into the ground one way or another. I don't think there's anything we can do to stop it. But I, on that happy note, want to get the hell out of here so I can relax and go to bed and all that good stuff. Because, us hellraisers like to be in bed by 9:30. Take my damn prune juice and go to... No, I don't drink prune juice. Or Metamucil or nothing like that. I haven't reached those stages yet. Anyway, Steve's probably cussing me, but well, he'll be cussing me in like 5 minutes when he hears it. I'm just messing with you, Steve. Oh, he must hear me. He must be in time. Go ahead, speak, Ubu, speak. I actually think he must be in time because.
I'm
Go
in
ahead.
time.
Right on. I figured you were because I refreshed
Well,
the screen.
well, Mike, once I shut off the other show, the delay stopped. I don't know what I was
Oh,
saying.
oh,
Yeah,
I
I
see
had
what you're
yeah,
saying.
I was yeah, I had both of them on and it didn't. I'm asleep. I'm asleep and I'm falling asleep again. I slept all day and it just but anyway, sorry.
Oh no, you're
Uh,
fine. I hear you, man. I can
it
only
just
imagine.
we've had such intric whatever. We've had different problem stuff for trying to I'm sure with your board or whatever you're working with, you got things to learn. So, but try to get things straightened out here. I will
Yep.
say this: we need to I don't know get together. I need a a, uh, a chat about your last Friday's show. I've listened to it twice,
Okay.
and I'm working on a rather interesting article, but I it kind of threw me a little bit considering of the previous conversations we had, because I kind of thought you'd kind of gone all Old Testament.
Oh no, 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 no.
Okay,
No, you have to. It's not just the Old Testament. It's also the New Testament. You have to look at them both. And then going above and beyond that, you have to look at what they call the Apocrypha, because they are parts of the Bible that were taken out,
right.
and they are very important parts of the Bible. In fact, that's why they were taken out because of how important they are.
Well,
There was one book that I know of that was added to the Bible at the Council of Nicaea, which was the Book of Romans. And then they removed, I don't know, I think like 21 some odd books. I've got an actual textbook behind me in real life here, not in the virtual world, that has not all of them, I don't believe, but it's got, I don't know, it says the complete. I believe it says the complete. I don't know, I'll have to look again to see if it truly does have all of them or if it's just their version of all of them. So,
well, the last conversation we had, I felt pretty clear on things. It was a good conversation, and uh, well, you'd mentioned like the Christianity thing and stuff like that was easy for government to be able to control people.
right. Yes,
And you still
absolutely.
so okay. Because like I said,
Absolutely.
I listened to the last show twice, and I don't know if I could take a third time, honestly. But it it I mean you got pretty excited on there. But I it kind of confused me of considering our previous conversation stuff because I kind of had that. Well, I felt like we were both in real agreement. You know,
Right.
it's just that it just that show last Friday kind of made me wonder because we're in some serious stuff here,
Yeah,
uh,
we are.
and I'm working on an article considering I don't it. You really have to have lived history to be able to recognize it, but people get too much of a ego
Mm-hmm.
or hope
Yeah,
or whatever you want to call it that thinks, well, this is the United States, it can't happen here. Well, guess
exactly.
what, pal? It already has.
Yeah, it can and it does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
and that's
anyway,
what concerns me. But no, I have a very unique view on all that, and I say unique. It's not really unique. It's actually just based on history and based on facts,
well,
not
yeah, it
based
it
on.
because I thought like the conclusion I kind of came to about 4 years ago now, that I felt real comfortable with. And when we talked, like I said, I know a lot about it.
Hmm.
Now, even if it's wrong, I
Right.
still know a lot about all of it. And but it just well, I'm more at peace now,
Hmm.
and because people don't read the thing to
Hmm.
begin with. They cherry pick and all that,
Right.
and you just can't. I mean, they just take the piece that makes them feel comfortable.
But now, see, now that's the Christian way.
Right, right.
and
That's what
and
I
that
think.
that's what's encouraged by all the churches and everything else because
Right.
they're the ones that are leading that picking and choosing.
Okay, because that was like the conversation.
Yeah.
Gosh, I don't know. We couldn't have been that. Well, I don't know. I think. Well, I look back to when that email I sent you asking you have you gone full Old Testament. It was back in March.
Oh
So
wow.
it goes, yeah. I mean, I said, well, I don't know. It was 2 or 3 months ago. No, it's like, it's getting close to being, it's like 9, 10 months ago. So, but
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah. No. I mean,
that's what
I look at them all. I
uh,
look at them
uh,
all.
all what?
The Old Testament, the New
Oh,
Testament, and the
yeah.
Apocrypha. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but, what we were talking, got once when you started talking about what you just said, is where I felt like we really were kind of thinking the same thing.
Well, it is. I
And
mean,
not that not that
essentially.
not that not that we have to think the same thing, but it just I'd come after 60 years. I said, this is not really working.
Well, no. And the
So,
thing of it is, it wasn't intended to, and that was the whole. That was the whole idea behind Christianity
I
was
like
that
that.
it was basically building a religious bridge to nowhere is
There you
basically
go.
what it was doing.
That's very
And
good. Yeah, way to look at it.
and that's why I got away from it. That's why I will say I'm not Christian. I'm Hebrew. I'm not Christian. I'm Hebrew. And there's a
Okay.
reason why I have to have that distinction. Because there are a lot of things that are Christian tradition, like Easter, Christmas, what have you, that
Yeah.
I really don't want any part with. Um, and it's because of the truth. It's because of the actual word. I mean, it's mind blowing to me. Um,
The, well, there's a lot of controversy over uh, how Christianity came together. I mean, when it
well, yeah,
finally, like 400 year, like 400 AD, different families,
yeah,
different uh, Christentine, the of Rome. Basically
Christianity came from Roman. Um,
Constantine. I'm sorry, Constantine, not Jesus, not Constantine.
right, right,
Yeah.
and Christianity is essentially the Roman approach.
Yeah.
Um, and like I said, when the Council of Nicaea took place, there was a whole lot of stuff that got shaken up, and the whole idea was to trick the masses into actually worshiping an evil deity instead of worshiping Jesus Christ. And then you had the tribe of Judah that worked hand in hand with them and still continue to work hand in hand with them to this day in order to continue this great deception. I mean, I got to call it what it is.
Yeah, I
Um,
that's that's what I think you really need to be aware of anytime with anything. When once you start doing things for control.
right, exactly. And if there's one thing that you can glean from the word is that God God made it very clear that we were not to let man control us. God made it very clear that as
Yeah.
long as we put him first and foremost, him number one, that's all we have to do and walk that path. That's all we got to do. Then man is insignificant. And I get it that that's only true in a sense. But once you really subscribe to that, um, you were talking about a feeling of peace.
Yeah.
That's this is the in a sense this is the most peace I've ever felt in my entire life.
Well, it was a relief, and I know I told you that because gosh, it'd been. Well, I'd have to look back at my notebook because I wrote it in there, but it just um, also, this Dennis Prager, this he's pretty well known radio host.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
When
I like him.
yeah, oh, I've known about him. Oh gosh, I'll bet it goes back to the almost the 70s or something. Of seeing him on the Tom Snyder show is where I first saw him. But when he was on the War Room with Steve Bannon, and
Mm-hmm.
I captured that where he was on for two segments, 28
Mm-hmm.
minutes or whatever, but he said almost word for word what I had told you, gosh, maybe a year before, where he was uh, what was that? He was done. He was done with organized religions in this country and the
Mm-hmm.
West.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, okay, I'm not the only one that's saying, what the
Right.
hell? Because he's pretty knowledgeable. That's the thing
Right.
I like about
And he,
him.
and he and he is another one. He didn't walk away from God. He walked closer to God by walking away from Western
Yeah,
religion.
he said he was going to start his own church. Which, and he said that's what people ought to do because he just couldn't believe through that whole COVID deal and everything like that. And what has gotten me for years, well, this thing on this Judeo Christian, this is a Christian country, a Christian constitution, yada, yada, yada. And yet they don't. I mean, I just got problems with that, Mike,
Right.
because,
Well, there is truth to the basis. There was a Christian basis to the Constitution. However, however, and this has to be again, I want to remind you that Christian isn't what it was made to be believed that it was.
well, it isn't what I've read in the Bible. Now, you've probably read more and probably can remember it better than I can because that's where I get into trouble. But I just don't, and my understanding of I can't think of the word right now, but being able to read something and understanding it, I'm pretty
Hmm.
good at that.
Right.
And I don't know what people, they spout out with this stuff, and I say, you know, I don't think that's even in there. Why don't you find it for me?
Right.
And
Right.
usually it's not in there. Or, well, it says this. Well, yeah, except for, there's
Well,
about
now
10 other
that's one of
things.
the that's one of the things too, is you will find lots of points in the Bible that contradict each other. However, the most important thing to remember with that is the scripture that talks about how there's a season for everything.
That's right, Leviticus,
And so
I think.
you have
And
to be able to discern. I couldn't tell you where it is, but you
uh,
have to be able to discern
uh,
when to do what. So yeah, there are times to where you are going to want to turn the other cheek, but at the same moment, there are times to where you're going to want to chop somebody's ear off.
well,
You know?
there's a time for war.
Right,
There's a
right,
time for
exactly,
peace. There's a time to
exactly.
kill.
Yep.
There's all this, and that where it really came about. I'll never forget it. Is the song by the Birds, "Turn,
Right.
Turn, Turn," where
Seasons.
they
Yeah, I
took.
love that song. That's one of my
Oh yeah,
favorite songs.
oh it's something. It's really something. It made everybody, I think, uh, take a look at it. It made
Mm-hmm.
me take a look at it, even though and the laws. If you talk about Christianity, you go to, I believe it's Deuteronomy. I think it's in the Torah, first 5 books
Mm-hmm.
of the laws written down are almost
Right.
are identical to what we've got today. Just pretty
Uh,
basic.
well, yeah. Not really though. I mean, the Torah is a far cry from like. Are you talking about the laws like the legal? The government
Well,
laws. The
I think it's
because
Deuteronomy, whatever it is. Uh, Basically, there's a book there, and I'm pretty sure it's the Old Testament. As for, but it goes through different
all the
crimes and the
right,
punishments,
right, right.
and those have been carried through for thousands of years.
No, not so much.
Okay.
No, not so much.
Well,
Liars aren't getting their tongues cut out. Thieves
well,
aren't getting
that's
their hands cut off.
well,
No,
we can use metaphors for that. They can be silenced.
yeah, but had that not really changed, had thieves continued to get their hands chopped off, had liars continued to get their tongues cut out, we
Well, it
wouldn't
does.
have
It
liars and thieves.
it happens in the Middle East. They got that bandsaw out and say, lay that hand down there, boy."
Uh,
But
I can't argue it. I cannot
Ecclesi-
argue it.
Ecclesiastes, that's where that turn, turn, turn. There is a season of which
Right.
it does reach a point. I'll tell you, if a person lives enough, and that doesn't mean they gotta be old. It's not the years, it's the mileage.
Right.
But where you end up saying, "Thank God for war."
Ugh.
Otherwise, nothing changes, Mike.
Right.
And
Right. I don't know. I have a hard time going there saying that,
well,
but
I'd say most people do, but it was one day, one time when I said, "Thank God for war," and it just about uh did that really come out of my mouth? But yeah,
yeah.
in the situation, yeah. Yeah,
No,
yeah.
and I say that, and at the same time, there are certainly moments that there are moments that I think that an EMP would be the best damn thing that could happen to this planet.
A lot of
Um,
people die, I'll tell you that.
yeah, but at the same time, the ship would get righted. The
Yeah.
the ship would get righted. It would have no choice. I mean, it would struggle, but it would eventually get righted.
I'm not sure it cut out the evil that always
No,
exists.
you'll never cut out the evil, but at the same time, you'll never cut out all the good either. So
I just,
But
I go ahead.
right now, evil has been allowed to root itself in so many different places that we need a fresh start. You know, you're always going to have evil, but right now it's so rooted we can't get
Well,
around the evil.
we're not going to get a fresh start with the quote unquote Christians we got now, Mike.
Oh no.
It isn't gonna
No.
happen. That's my
Well, no,
point. And
because they were taught that the church has got it covered for them. All they got to do is show up one day a week, eat a cookie, and they're good.
and
And
Mike, the
pay their money.
harsher.
Don't forget about the collection plate now.
Well, yeah, our I'm not gonna remember that word either, but the yeah. Uh, but the more in your face and the more of the way it's different and unusual, like what I write. But the more
Right.
if I get 3 or 4 new followers a week. It's
That's
it's
good.
because the headlines. One, you got to take a whole page of thoughts and put them in 8 words of headlines,
Right.
which can be very interesting. It takes maybe it could take me 20, 30 minutes of rearranging, readjusting of what someone's going to see to catch their attention. But we're
Right.
not. We are in so much trouble because of the attitude is not the best word for this, but because of
The
how this
mindset.
how,
The,
yeah, that too. Yeah, that of how this country has the society has conducted themselves, Mike.
right.
And I don't mean there's bad people. I mean as to no responsibility, Mike.
Right. Right. Well,
This
that's the
is just
problem.
this is we are in well, and I don't know if you can embarrass people enough or insult them or whatever to make them get off their butts. We've talked about this before and do something. I mean,
Hmm.
it's well, what could I do? Boy, I'll tell you, this country's good at making excuses.
Yep.
It,
Yep.
it just it gets me that people say, uh, well, you say, well, what are you doing now? Well, they're not doing anything. Well, something is better than nothing. And he said, have you got $1? Yeah, I got $1, but what's that going to do? See, I mean, it just, geez. You know how small a raindrop is?
Oh,
You
I
get
hear you.
enough, you get enough of them in your house and everything else is gone.
Right.
So, geez.
Right. Oh
Anyway,
well.
I don't want to keep you or whatever, but I did want I'd listened to that thing and I just kind of, I didn't know because you went into the kind of the Jesus is king is what you were saying.
Well, I mean, he is, but
I'd probably paraphrasing you, Mike. Don't but I mean
I mean,
of
he is, but um,
someone. Oh, I don't know. I can't remember. It's bad,
oh, I
but I
hear
think
you.
I think we're on the same track. Someone of anyone saying something bad about Jesus or the king or whatever like that was kind of what you were saying
Right.
to the point you were
Well,
screaming.
yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm gonna defend. Absolutely, I'm gonna defend my savior. Hang on a second.
Okay.
Okay, I had to blow my nose, but
But
yeah, I
you don't have a problem with with Jesus being I don't know if you want to call him a God being God and
well,
also being human.
I I don't
Where do
know
you
exactly how all of that shook out. Talking about the Trinity and all of that, I really don't. I can't sit here and say that I can give you the definitive answer of how that
Okay.
all is.
Well, I'm not
I don't
trying
know
to.
if
I'm
the
not. I'm
Christians
not.
are right. I don't know
Yeah. I'm
if
not trying to back you into any kind of corner.
oh no,
I'm just
you're
asking.
not. You're
Okay.
not. And
Yeah.
that's perfectly fine. I'm the type of person when it comes to that stuff, ask anything. But
Yeah.
if I
Well,
don't know
you've
the
always
answer,
yeah
I'm
you've
not going to
always been good at
bullshit you.
that. But I just yeah well that's fine. You ought to know me well enough by now. That's why I was questioning myself more than I was questioning you and listening. Like I said, I did listen to it twice, and but as to how much of this New Testament has been, shall I say, tainted or
Well,
created, or
all of the book of
that's what I'm.
Romans, all of the book of Romans, and then you have to look at again without reading the Apocrypha, you're like missing a huge part of all of it.
Well,
And
that yeah. See, and you read it. I haven't. So you possibly you well just that you read it. I haven't. But I said
um,
we would not if it wasn't for Christianity. I don't think this country would be in the shape that it's in, Mike.
well, I
That
would
sounds
agree.
blunt and
I would
everything like
agree.
that, but
I would agree, but probably for opposite reasons than you. I would
oh well,
agree because Christianity had led society down the wrong path. And had they truly kept with the word and had society not been led down the wrong path, we
yeah,
wouldn't be here today. So we probably come at that from two totally different sides, but
maybe
we
not,
agree on
maybe
the out,
not.
you
Well,
know.
yeah, just what you said is, but I mean, and and it's not going to get us out, Mike.
No,
That's
no,
what
there is
everybody.
no getting
Oh,
out of this.
what we need: prayer in school. We need this. We need that. We just
I
need
keep
more guys. And
I
I
keep
just,
asking
man, you
people,
people, you want to
I keep
drill. You got a boat that's sinking, and you want to get out the Black and Decker and drill more holes in the bottom.
well, the thing of it is I can't for the life of me, I can't find anybody that can show me in the Bible where we fix this. We don't fix this. The
We
ship
don't.
goes down. The ship goes down. And that's
Yeah,
all
but
there is to it. I mean, that's all there is to it. But it's not I it's kind of one of those things to where it doesn't matter who wins as much as it matters how you fought and what side you fought for. Um,
Well, I'll agree with that. It's just that I yeah, no, that I will agree with, but it just the, the
it is
whole
it's a big ball of a confusing mess because Christianity had murkied the waters so bad nobody can get a good
well, yeah, I
sense of where
agree.
they're at. Yeah, that was the whole
Yeah,
idea. That was the whole intent of doing it. Was to basically
okay, that's
to take away any of the firm foundation that people could possibly get from the word.
okay. Well, that's very interesting because that's what we were talking about before, and I totally agree with that. I just
It
don't
was
remember.
intentional, but anyway, I need to get off here, or else I'm
Okay,
gonna have
okay,
the ladies killing me. So,
okay. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate
no
it.
problem.
You got me woke up here anyway. So now
Right
I can
on.
now I can get tired again and go up and my little leg warmer's laying up there waiting for me, the furry cat, buddy
Right
girl.
on.
So, but anyway, thanks a lot, Mike. I'll talk to you later then.
Okay, sounds good, Steve.
Okay, thank you.
No problem,
Do
and
do
I
your
hope.
close. You're gonna do. I guess I interrupted
Oh yeah.
your closing statement. Go
Yep.
ahead. So,
Right on. So,
okay.
by the way, I still like now I'm having a problem remembering the channel. Sustenance and Covering. He still has my favorite of all
Who?
outros. Um, Sustenance and Covering. He ends his shows with, "If you don't want to survive, don't listen to me." I love it. Anyway, uh,
Oh, that's pretty ominous,
it is.
isn't it? Jeez. Yeah, kind of like just go ahead, die. You know, kind of,
Anyway, I'm
you
out of here. I
dumb
hope you.
bastard.
I hope y'all have a good night. God willing, I'll be here tomorrow. I hope to see you then. And as always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. And shalom. See you later, Steve.
Yep. See you.